What's going on, car family? I'm Ben Wayne, and thank you for joining me in another video. Today we're here to take a look at the all-new 2024 Hyundai Kona N-Line. Now, we've reviewed the Kona before, but this is a totally new body style here, and everything about this car is better. I remember reviewing the Kona N, the Kona N-Line, and then there was even a hybrid variant that we took a look at, but that was the previous body style. This is the all-new body style for 2024, and it's better in every way possible. So starting with the exterior, we'll talk about the power plant first. What's powering this thing is a 1.4 liter turbo 4-cylinder power plant, giving you 190 horsepower and 195 pound-feet of torque. It's connected to an 8-speed automatic transmission. So gone is that clunky and jerky 7-speed dual clutch transmission that we found in the previous generation of the Kona N-Line. I remember that transmission being so rough. When it shifted, it almost felt like somebody was kicking you in the back, from the back seat there. This one is nice and smooth, and the gear changes are really seamless. So it makes a world of a difference already in this new generation of the Kona. Now, I don't have an official 0 to 60 time. It's within the 7-second range, but it's enough to get you up and going. Now, as far as your fuel economy is concerned, for this generation, it's slightly lower than the previous generation. So you're looking at about 24 city and 29 highway in terms of miles per gallon. I believe it was up around 3 miles per gallon in the previous generation. That's not a major deal breaker, but it is something I wanted to make mention of. So, starting at the front of the vehicle, you'll notice we do have daytime running lamps in the form of a thin light band. Gives it a really seamless modern look. As a matter of fact, this car was designed as an EV first before you got that 4-cylinder internal combustion engine there. We also have functional vents that are done up in black. So they open and close depending on the car's ventilation needs. That is pretty trick. Now, in terms of the traditional headlamps, those are located lower, you know, on the front fascia as opposed to sitting up higher as in a traditional vehicle. Now, everything up front is LED with the exception of the incandescent turning signals. I do wish they went ahead and put those LED turning signals there, but that is not a major deal breaker. This car is coming in at just $32,000, just a little over $32,000, and it's really a lot of bang for the buck. You'll see as we review it. So those incandescent turning signals, not a major deal breaker there. Now, coming to the side profile, you'll notice we have 19-inch wheels fitted on this model. They really give it a sporty edge, way more of a sporty edge than the previous generation of the Kona had. So I really love the way it contrasts against that red paintwork. Those 19-inch wheels look phenomenal. You'll notice that the wheel arches are done up in a body color. That looks nice as well. If you go for other models such as the limited trim, they might be done in a black plastic, a flat black plastic, which kind of changes the look a bit, but either one really looks good. Now, as far as the wheelbase has been extended by about 2.5 inches when compared to the previous generation, and then the overall vehicle length has increased by 6 inches. So that's going to translate into more rear seat legroom and a smoother ride overall, because it essentially lowers your vehicle's center of gravity once you extend that wheelbase and the vehicle's overall length. Now, on the side profile, you also notice that we do have gloss black side view mirrors that have the turn signal indicators located there as well. And of course, we do have the roof rails, and you'll notice from the outside, maybe, that you do have a large sunroof. It's not a panoramic sunroof, but the sunroof is fairly large. So it's something that you'll be more than satisfied with. Coming towards the back, you'll notice we have this huge spoiler here. That reminds me of the full-fat N model Kona. Now, we haven't seen a full N model of this generation yet. I'm not sure if that's been announced. Hopefully we see it. But this roof spoiler on this model really gives the Kona N-Line a sporty edge that the previous one simply just didn't have. You also have a third brake light located up there as well. Open up the rear hatch, you're looking at about 25 cubic feet of storage with the second row up. You want more storage, drop that second row. That's going to give you just over around 63 cubic feet of storage. Again, you're looking at more storage capacity than the previous model because this vehicle is longer. Now the tail lamps in the back, those are incandescent back there, but the design language is mimicked from what you saw up front. We have a thin light band that goes around the width of the vehicle, really helps pronounce that width and girth of the vehicle. This vehicle is 1 inch taller and 1 inch wider than the outgoing generation, and from the back, you can really see that. Now, let's talk about the driving dynamics, the handling characteristics. How does this car feel? Well, overall, I will say that this is a quiet ride, and it's a smoother ride than what I remember in the previous generation Kona. So I'm loving those improvements already. Now, the steering feels nice and light and nimble. This car weighs about 3,400 pounds, which is a little bit heavier than the previous generation, but that's okay. This isn't a sports car or something you're going to take on the track, so we're not really too focused on weight here, but the driving dynamics do really feel good. Now, in terms of the interior when compared to the previous generation, in my opinion, this is pretty much a fact, it is way better. The interior is way better than the outgoing generation here. Let's go into that in a little bit of detail. So at the top of the dash, we do have a hard injection molded plastic there. But coming down, we do have dual 12.3-inch displays, which is industry standard. You're getting a lot at this price point, guys. Now coming lower, we do have red accents, so it's not just all done up in black. I love the red accents here, but the overall interior, when compared to the previous generation, it feels more minimalist designed, minimalist inspired. It's not cluttered, it's nice and clean. Coming lower, we have physical buttons for your infotainment system, so you can just either use the touchscreen if you want, but there's also physical buttons here that you can use as well. We have physical buttons for your air conditioner system as well. We have USB ports and a cigarette style outlet as well. And then we have a nice charging pad for your wireless charging. Now you'll note here on the center console, we have controls for your heated seats and the camera system as well. Now I will say the camera system in this vehicle, it is more than adequate. It's going to get you the information that you need. You'll see there. It's not a 360-degree system like you would see in the limited models. The limited models do have 360-degree cameras. They have cameras on the side view mirrors that gives you a nice surround view. That is nice. But on this particular N-Line model, it does not have it. Now, there are some blank buttons here as well for your heated steering wheel and ventilated seats, which is, again, options that you will see on the limited variants. Now, I will say you notice that I don't have Apple CarPlay up here. This does have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, but you're using a wired USB cord. So you got to plug it into the car to get that. Now, normally I would say, why would they do that? But research has shown that Hyundai has heard their customers, and they're going to give a free over-the-air software update that is going to allow for wireless Apple CarPlay around mid-2024 or so. So hold on tight, and this car will have it, so no points off for that. Wireless Apple CarPlay is amazing. Really upgrades that infotainment system. After all, once you have Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, nobody really uses what the manufacturers provide in the infotainment system anyway. So that's just my opinion. I just wanted to let you guys know that. Now, as far as the steering wheel is concerned, it's done up in black leather. We do have red contrast stitching, and you'll notice 4 dots here that you're starting to see in a lot of Hyundai models. 4 dots is H in Morse code. That's pretty slick. I like how they did that. Now, behind the steering wheel, I do have shift paddles in case I want to shift this vehicle manually, and I do have a 12.3-inch display cluster here. So a thin film transistor display really looks nice here, and it is vibrant, easy to read, very clear in all types of light. Now the seats, they're nice and firm. They do have this, Alcantara-like material here in the center with the red accents and the N embroidered in the seat as well. So they are nice and firm and comfortable there. You do have aggressive side bolstering as well, and again, you get 3 levels of heating. Now coming over to the door panels, you have hard touch injection molded plastic there. Soft touch material here where the door handle is. Your door handles are done in a almost gunmetal color. Coming lower, we do have controls for your windows inside your mirrors. And then, of course, as expected, you have some storage on the bottom of the door as well. Plenty of natural light coming into the cabin through this huge sunroof. It's not a panoramic roof. It doesn't go all the way above the rear seats, but it does still allow plenty of light into the cabin. Speaking of the rear seats, you do have your air conditioning vents and USB there as well, and 38 inches of legroom, which is up there in terms of this vehicle's class. So this vehicle is really checking a lot of boxes for the price point that you're looking at. And I keep mentioning price point because in days like today, where the average car payment is $700-800 a month over who knows how long that financing is, it's really important to focus on some of these cars out here that are giving you a lot of bang for the buck and also backing it with a decent warranty, right? So that's why I keep mentioning that price point. A lot of you guys ask to see more affordable cars. Well, this is something that's definitely worth looking at. This Kona is a vast improvement over the previous generation, and the ride quality is up there as well. I remember the last Kona N, the shifting was just so jerky with that DCT. I'm really thankful that they heard the customers and took that out and gave you a nice 8-speed automatic transmission. Just overall, the ride quality, it's a nice and quiet ride, and it's a nice economical ride for somebody looking for something that has a sporty edge, but then again has that versatility of an SUV. So this subcompact SUV class, Hyundai is really competitive in this market. And again, take a look at something like this if you're into something that doesn't want to break the bank. Now, I will make mention that the Kona N-Line, the N-Line models, only have black available. If you want to take a look at some of the other interior color options, you have to look at some of the other models such as the Limited. So let me know what you guys think about this one in the comment section. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And until next time, I'm Ben Wayne, the automotive reviewer that YouTube deserves. I'll catch you guys in the next one.